So careful, after careful observation, I have concluded, or we have concluded here at the effing podcast, and by we I mean me, myself, and my microphone, because there is no, there's no behind the scenes fucking team, prepping the show, making sure it sounds good or it's edited properly. In fact, no degree of editing takes place other than, I do edit. I mean, I try and get rid of some of the background noises that you probably won't hear unless they're just too loud and for me to get rid of. But there is some degree of editing. But anyways, what we have concluded over here at the effing podcast after numerous observations is that middle school is it's the ugliest years of a kid's life. I mean, have you really looked at them? Because I pick up my son from school all the time, and I used to pick up my daughter, but their schedules kind of clash, so her mother picks her up. But I was just sitting there the other day and watching these kids come out of leave school, and I mean, obviously it's not all kids. Some kids are very cute, but they've just always been cute. But middle school it's one of those, it's like that stage between, like, when they were in elementary school, they were still small, they were cute. In high school is usually when they start to sort of develop how they're going to look. And I don't mean develop like, develop, not a fucking weirdo. But, you start to get a sense of what they're going to look like when they're about 20, 30 years old. You can kind of get a sense. There's a hint of it in high school. But middle school is just, they look like a mishmash of I don't know. I can't even describe it. Just looking at some of these kids, it was just like, Jesus. It's like, I hope, I mean, for them, I mean, obviously we shouldn't live in a society that judges you by the way that you look, but unfortunately that is the society in which we live in. And I was just seeing a lot of kids like, ugh, you better be really fucking smart or have a hell of a fucking personality, because, I don't know. Is that mean? Was that mean of me to say? I mean, if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, besides the past 3 minutes, I don't hold back. I tell the truth. And the truth is middle school kids are kind of ugly. They're not as cute as they were when they're in elementary school, but they're not as, I don't know, as attractive, I guess, without sounding like a complete fucking creeper, that they are in high school, in college and beyond. It's just, middle school is just, it's that stage where it's like, ugh, you better get, better looking pretty fucking quickly, or else it's, you're gonna have a rough fucking life there. But anyway, this is the effing podcast for those of you that, I don't know, are blind and just happen to land on here, and you're just like, well, who is this fucking jackass talking to me about ugly middle school children? Yeah, it's the effing podcast. I do a couple of these a week, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. Occasionally I switch it up just to be fucking kooky. No, usually it is Tuesdays and Thursdays, but occasionally, shit happens, and I can't fucking do it on the days that I plan to do it. So it is what it is. But anyway, how the fuck is everybody doing? Has anybody heard about or read or seen fucking on Twitter or whatever that apparently Amazon is now trying to come up with their own delivery service? They're basically trying to cut FedEx and UPS out of the entire deal. And you see people, of course, there's some people that are just like, yeah, this is a great fucking idea, just completely dismissing the fact that that this is just kind of business as usual with Amazon. They go and they fucking, they try and corner the market on everything, and then they put a bunch of people out of work, and then they pay them like shit, and for some reason everybody celebrates the business practices of Amazon. I think it's completely fucking horrific that people are continuing to allow this to happen. I mean, the way that Jeff Bezos, which happens to be the the owner of Amazon, the way that he's going, it's only a matter of time before he controls everything, before he has his little fucking tentacles in every aspect of your life. I mean, him and fucking some other rich cunts were just talking about creating their own health insurance company. Jeff Bezos is trying to take over the fucking world, and everybody is letting it happen because, how else are you going to get that fucking vintage spatula for $6.99 with no fucking shipping? I mean, it's gotten out of control, and I'm saying it now. I'm done with fucking Amazon. Done. Canceling my fucking Prime account. They have managed to I have managed to find things for a cheaper price on Amazon. I understand that is very alluring, but not letting fucking Lex Luthor take over the fucking planet is a little bit more important to me. The guy sits on the board of the Pentagon. He owns the Washington Post. He takes $600 million a year from the CIA, an organization that is masterful at creating propaganda and lying and spying on people. And they were all for fucking torture. And hold on a second, people. I gotta respond to this fucking. I know it's unprofessional, but if you've listened to my podcast for any amount of time, you know that it is a regular thing that my fucking phone bing bong. So hold on one second, although you won't know because it'll seem like I just pause and then I start talking, but hold on. All right, I'm back. But anyway, at some point you have to just be like, you know what? It's not about just me and my ability to, purchase a pair of fucking, spandex skinny jeans for $17.99. At some point you have to take a fucking stand, and the time is now, because he is working as hard as possible to take over the fucking world. He's already the richest fucking person on the planet, if you don't count the guys, the Saudi princes that are, they have so much fucking money, they're buying like golden fucking Lamborghinis and shit. He puts fucking brick and mortar stores out of fucking business. He's taken over the grocery fucking game as far as taking over Whole Foods. And if you're still shopping at Whole Foods, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I don't like fucking Whole Foods. I never liked that place. It's always felt fucking pretentious. But, the minute that they took over that, you should have been like, nah, fuck this. I can just go buy some fucking Lucerne eggs instead of fucking farm raised organic fucking hippie eggs or whatever it is that you buy at Whole Foods. The guy takes money from the CIA, as I was saying before I had to hit pause there for a second. You are basically putting the real life Lex Luthor in charge of everything. You're letting it fucking happen. And I'm saying that, you know what, maybe you just, for once, you stop thinking about yourself and your, and your desire to save a few fucking bucks. And maybe you go to the fucking store, and don't give me this shit like, well, what about the people that can't afford? If you can't afford shit, then you really shouldn't be buying shit. You should budget your money a little bit better, or at least stick to the necessities. How fucking elitist did that fucking sound? You know what I mean. It's like the guy or the person that fucking buys like the super expensive car, but lives in an apartment. It's like you got your priorities all fucking backwards. What did E40 say back in the day? Don't buy the fucking what was it? Like, don't buy the $80,000 car before you buy the house. It's just, and for those of you like, E40, who the fuck is that? He's some Bay Area rapper. Very successful. He's got he's got his own little niche in the hip hop world. But at some point, you either, and this goes along with everything else as far as I'm concerned, that you cannot bitch about shit while at the same time doing absolutely nothing to fucking fix it. What fixes the Amazon problem is you stop buying shit from Amazon. If like even a quarter of Amazon Prime holders fucking canceled their membership, that would send a huge fucking message to this Jeff Bezos guy that we don't appreciate him trying to fucking take over everything. At some point you have to put your fucking foot down and not just be caught up in the, wow, he's so fucking successful, and just completely dismissing all of the horrific shit that he does to his current employees. I heard he's trying to fucking make the employees wear fucking wristbands that fucking monitor their movements and know exactly where they're fucking going and what they're reaching for at any fucking moment. The guy is a fucking monster, and you're helping him. You're helping him get more and more rich every single time you go to fucking Amazon and buy some shit, or every time you step into fucking Whole Foods and purchase shit. You're helping a fucking monster. It is time for you to fucking stop fucking creating the downfall. Stop helping the elimination of fucking of anything good in this fucking country or on this fucking planet. At some point, you're gonna have to take a stand. It's I don't know, it fucking, it's moved beyond just annoying to me to I'm just, it's in, can I say this fucking word properly? It's infuriating. I'll never be able to pronounce that goddamn word. It pisses me the fuck off watching people that have chosen to just pretend like the world isn't fucking ending, that we're not coming closer and closer to just absolute fucking collapse. If not the entire world, at least in this fucking country. Fucking Trump, right? He wants to put on a war parade, or not a war parade, a military parade, right? Where, where he fucking broadcasts the strength of our army. You know who else does that on a regular fucking basis? Kim Jong-un. Right? He's always having those military parades where people are fucking goose stepping in sync down the fucking street. That's what Trump wants. The man could not be any more fucking envious of Kim Jong-un. That's why he talks so much shit. That's why he wants his little stupid fucking parade. And the crazy thing is you have pretty much a majority of America that's like, that is fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous that you would fucking want some shit like that. And he says, oh, well, it was impressive in France for Bastille Day. Okay, here's what I'm going to say, right? Because you know what he's preparing for. He's preparing us for a world fucking war. That is what he's doing. The world is the other countries of the world are beginning to turn their fucking back on us because of the horrific fucking shit that this man is doing. And he feels threatened, as a lot of stupid fucking people that consider themselves patriots. And I wish you could see the fucking air quotes I was making, but this is like what a bully fucking does, right? Or somebody that, I don't know, like, not a bully. It's somebody that's like inadequate, right? They can't impress, or like the usual tricks that they use to impress people no longer work. So now it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna put everything on the fucking table. This is Trump's version of a fucking dick measuring contest. And his dick is still gonna be fucking tiny, because nobody is gonna be like, oh fuck, look at the size of that army, we better not. They're not scared of us anymore. I mean, they're a little scared, but they're not as scared as they used to be. The man, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not, the man is ruining the fucking country, and he is gearing us up for war. And it seems like he is just itching for nuclear war. Guess what, dipshits? If we have a nuclear war, even if the bombs are not going off here in this country, we all die. Because that shit travels into the fucking atmosphere. It just, at some point, Trump supporters, you gotta take your fucking head out of his ass and put aside your dislike for I don't know, brown people and, I don't know, libtards or whatever the fuck it is that you call them. At some point, you got to put that aside and put the well-being of everybody, including yourself, into the fucking, into the front lines. The man is getting ready to create a world war, and you dipshits are cheering him the fuck on. And I'm not gonna, that doesn't mean I'm going to give Democrats a fucking break either, or the Hillary supporters, because it seems to me that the Democratic Party has, they've gone along with every single fucking thing that the man has asked for and got nothing in return. They just threw the DACA people under the fucking bus. You got Nancy Pelosi fucking sitting there talking for 8 hours as though that really fucking changes anything when right after the fucking protest, and they quote her as saying that, oh, I don't agree with the immigration bill, but I still think the fucking economic bill is a win for everyone. So basically, I stood up there for 8 fucking hours as political theater. And we're not going to do shit for the last remaining portion of our fucking base. You guys are all letting it fucking happen. And I don't know, is everybody just waiting for fucking John McClane or I don't know, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger to come and save the fucking day? I don't understand why everybody is so fucking complacent. I mean, you hear a lot of people bitching and, pissing and moaning about stuff, but you don't see any fucking action. The man is going to destroy our fucking country. Most likely get us into a war. And here's the even more horrific fucking thing, and I'm sure that if I do have Trump supporters, you won't think it's that horrific, but I guess there's a bill or a proposal on the table that for the DACA people that want to stay, they have to enlist in the military. So basically, either you fucking go and fight our bullshit wars, where it's really just about whose dick is bigger, or you get sent to a fucking place that you most likely have never been to. Does anybody see anything wrong with doing that to people? And what pisses me off, I know that there's a lot of fucking psychopaths and sociopaths in the military that are serving right now, whether they're active or not, that just they're fucking frothing at the chops to go start fucking killing people. But I have to assume that there's got to be some people that are actually decent human beings and don't want to fucking do this shit. And my question to you is, why the fuck are you still serving? Why? Why are you still a part of this shit? Do you really think that you're defending our freedom by killing fucking people overseas that can't really do any fucking thing to us? I mean, have you paid attention to the fact that we support, we're fucking on the side of Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is currently fucking starving Yemeni people to death, men, women, and yes, children, to death, and we're behind that guy. Tell me how, or not behind that guy, we're behind that fucking country. A country that is known for having the most human rights violations on the fucking planet, and we're on that guy's side. You really think that you're fighting for fucking freedom? You really think that the reason that you're over there isn't because some fucking oil company or fucking some corporation wants you to be over? You think you're not over there because of that? Have you really convinced yourself that you're over there fucking fighting the war over there so it doesn't happen over here, even though the possibility of any of that shit happening over here is slim to fucking none? Yes, you had what happened on 9/11, which was a fucking fluke, and to be honest, with all of the scandals and shit, and all of the fucking with the JFK thing that just fucking that they just revealed, at this point I don't know. I've always sort of been on the side of that 9/11 was in fact a terrorist attack, but it's starting to seem more like just some fucking bullshit to drum up fucking support for going into a war and staying there forever, so that the military industrial complex and all of the arms creators, the bomb makers, and the fucking airplane makers and shit, so they just can continue to fucking make more money. If you're in the military and you're serving, and you're I mean, you have at least some or a part of your eyesight, I have to wonder, what the fuck are you still serving for? What is it? What does putting on that uniform stand for anymore? Because at this point, you're just fighting corporate interests, or you're fighting for corporate interests. I don't know. I don't fucking get it. I've managed to, to sort of stay away from yelling and screaming at you guys, but it just, as what fucking point are people going to open their fucking eyes and realize what is happening? I used to be on the side of, well, like my girl would always ask me, like, because they'd see shit about North Korea or whatever, and I'd be like, nah, it's just fucking posturing. And I think when it comes to North Korea, I think it is all about posturing for them. But the problem is that the guy in charge of our fucking country isn't so much about posturing, and is more about, let me just put my dick on the table and just go all out and start a fucking war just to prove that I can, just to scare, or to attempt to scare everybody. Why was I fucking struggling to say that? just to try and scare everybody back in line. The man is ruining the fucking country. Regardless of how you feel about him and his policies, at some point, Trump supporters, you're gonna have to, I don't know. I mean, if you haven't woken up to the fact that the man completely sold you a phony bill of goods, if you haven't figured it out by now, if the only thing that's keeping you supporting him is your underlying hate for anybody that's not white or that's not fucking conservative or whatever the fuck it is. Obviously, I acknowledge not every Trump supporter is a fucking racist. Some people are just, or I would say a majority of his supporters, maybe not currently, but the ones that voted him in, a majority were just looking for a way to upset the fucking system. They were sick of this neoliberal bullshit. They were sick of the fucking establishment. They thought that they were voting for a populist, and it turns out what they were voting for was basically more of the fucking same. The only difference is that instead of bullshitting people and, giving fucking inspiring speeches, he talked like your next door neighbor that has the fucking the car on blocks on his fucking front lawn. I mean, the man is by far the stupidest, most moronic fucking president we've ever had, and that says a lot considering 8 years ago we had fucking Bush, who arguably everybody thought was mildly fucking retarded. He makes George Bush look like fucking Einstein. That's how fucking stupid this guy is. And you put him in office because he sounded like, or he was saying some shit that sounded right. You completely ignore the fucking red flags, right? The fact that the man can, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. You voted for him for the reason that you voted for him. Just like the reason I voted for Bernie Sanders was my reason, because I actually wanted to, do something that would benefit everybody in the country and not just, a chosen few. You voted for him for whatever reason. Whatever. I don't care. But at some point, you're going to have to, acknowledge that you made a huge fucking mistake. And this guy is literally going to destroy this country. And, and the same thing goes for fucking Jeff Bezos and Amazon. The fact that nobody is alarmed at what is going on and nobody's taking a fucking stand. It drives me up the fucking wall. Okay? You're letting Lex Luthor basically take over the fucking, over the country and eventually over the fucking planet. The man takes $600 million a year from the CIA. He sits on the fucking board or whatever of the Pentagon. I mean, those are huge fucking red flags. Unless you're one of these people that has now convinced yourself that the CIA is awesome and that FBI and, and all of these government agencies are, are fucking on the up and up, and they never fucking, they never lie. They never create propaganda. They never infiltrate, groups in order to fucking destroy them. I mean, if you're one of these fucking people, then you're going to be like, whoa, what's the big fucking deal? But if you actually have a brain in your head, you'll see that, something's not right here. The man created that Alexa that basically people, you've basically decided that, you know what, I'm just going to bug myself. You no longer have to fucking, send a guy that looks like a repairman. I'll just do the fucking legwork for you and put it in my house and pretend like this is a good fucking idea. It's the same thing with those 50 fucking people that worked for some corporation, I don't know which one, that agreed to fucking get microchipped just so they could pay for their fucking snacks a little bit quicker. Just completely ignoring the fact that you basically now just put a tracking device into your fucking body. At some point, people, you're either going to have to get smart and take a fucking stand, or you just need to shut the fuck up. If you're bitching about anything, you need to shut the fuck up, because you're letting this happen. You're letting this happen. Every single problem, whether it's police brutality, the fucking, the political parties, the president, the military, the fucking Amazon, homelessness, hunger, all of these fucking things. You're letting it happen. You don't get to fucking, you no longer get to hide behind the, well, look what they fucking did. You no longer get to do that shit, because the longer you stay fucking quiet about it, the longer that you do absolutely nothing to fucking fight against it, you basically are complicit. You're letting it fucking happen. And in fact, the more you fucking allow yourself to be convinced that, your hashtag fucking protests, or calling somebody a libtard, or whatever, your fucking petitions, as long as you convince yourself that those things are actually going to fucking change things, the worse it's going to get. The only person, or the only candidate the only fucking ray of fucking hope that we really have at this point is that hopefully in 2020, Bernie Sanders or somebody like him it becomes fucking president. And and by somebody like him, I mean somebody that will actually fucking change shit. They will actually fight for things that people need, not just pay lip service, not use fucking words like access. Because the Democrats, they love to say shit like, oh, we're fighting so people have access to affordable health care. That's code for, we're just going to keep shit the way it fucking is, but we're going to pretty up the fucking the words there for you and hope that you fall for it. The only answer to health care is single payer. That's it. That's the only fucking answer. We've tried the free market control of fucking everything. It hasn't worked. And this idea that the free market isn't at play now with our fucking healthcare system. You hear people say this shit all the time. You know that they really don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just regurgitating some fucking talking head, on the right that fucking told them this shit. The free market has been in control of healthcare the entire fucking time, and nothing has gotten better. So the answer is not, let's try more of that. The answer is single fucking payer. And if they're not saying that I'm fighting for single payer, then they're not fighting for anything that you actually need. They say shit like, oh, we're fighting for access. We already have access to healthcare. What exactly are you fighting? I have access. I can go and purchase insurance anytime I fucking want. There's nobody stopping me from doing that. So you're fighting for access means dick. And anybody out there that is falling for that bullshit, wake the fuck up. What they're basically saying is, we're not going to change anything because we take a lot of fucking money from these health insurance companies. And to fight for single payer means that I would no longer make any fucking money. That's what fucking fighting for access means. Single payer is the only way to go. The only fucking way to go. And before anybody's like, well, who's going to pay for that shit? Well, it's funny because every time we need money to increase the military budget, there's no debate. There's no town halls. There's no, how are we going to fucking pay for this? It's just, boom, the money's fucking there. Imagine that. Weird how anytime we want something that would benefit everybody, there's like, oh, how the fuck are we going to pay for that? How are we going to make that happen? But, oh, the military needs an extra 80 fucking billion a year. Sure, there you go. And if you are one of these people that up to this point has been arguing, oh, how are we going to fucking do this? How are we going to pay for it? Oh, this is, unicorns and fairy fucking dust. If you're one of these fucking people that, at least up until this point, that have convinced yourself that the reason we don't have single payer is because we can't afford it, or we don't know how to pay for it, or it's too fucking difficult to do, wake the fuck up. The reason that we don't have single payer is because all of the health insurance industry would lose fucking business. They'd no longer be able to fucking capitalize on your health. Which also means that the politicians will no longer get the fucking kickbacks that they have enjoyed for, eons. There is no how can we pay for it. There is only why are we not fucking doing it. Same thing with fucking tuition-free college. Fucking livable wage. All of these things are fucking possible, and they've already done the math. They're all cheaper than the route that we go about now. But the reason we don't do it isn't because we can't. It's because they don't want to, because to do so means that the gravy train of fucking kickbacks disappears. So if you're still voting for corporatist fucking Democrats because you have convinced yourself that it's better to have a fucking Democrat than a fucking Republican, and that's your only fucking argument, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. If you actually think that somebody taking money from the very same corporations that they're supposed to be fighting against isn't fucking just contradictive, then again, you're a fucking idiot. If you think that those fucking speeches that some of these politicians made, including Hillary Clinton, where they made these, outlandish fucking speaking fees. If you think that they really paid somebody $400,000 to talk for a fucking hour because they're really fucking interested in fucking pantsuits or whatever the fuck it is that you've convinced, if you have convinced yourself of that, you're a fucking idiot. The whole reason that Obama is now on his fucking speaking tour, why do you think that is? You think it's because, we want to hear Obama speak? No, he's collecting the fucking money that they promised him to fucking, either stay quiet about shit that they wanted to do, or to push things that they wanted to do, or whatever. It's fucking bribe money. He's on his fucking bribe tour. I know that a lot of people have convinced themselves that Barack Obama was fucking awesome. And, on some degree, he was obviously a better fucking, as far as a figurehead. I mean, yeah, he gave a good speech. He didn't make everybody feel like World War III was about to fucking happen. But if you look at the policies and the shit that fucking happened during his administration, you will realize pretty fucking quickly Obama was horrific. I've said many times about what makes Obama, what his presidency and whatever, I've talked about it. The fact that, he bailed out the fucking banks instead of the people that actually needed fucking help. The fact that he got us involved, he took the two illegal wars we were already engaged in and expanded those to 7. Is a huge fucking problem. The fact that he dropped so many fucking bombs on Syria that we actually ran out of fucking bombs there for a minute. He did that. He fucking deported more people than every single president combined, going up to like 18 fucking 70 or some shit. He deported more people than any president prior to him combined. The man was not a good fucking president. He wasn't. And those are just the tip of the fucking iceberg on the things that he has fucking, or that he did during his presidency. You know, yes, Donald Trump is horrific. Yes, he is, he's making things a lot fucking worse. But you know what? The Democrats voted to give this fucking jackass even more spying powers. He is only continuing what has been going on in this country for 40 fucking years. None of this shit that he's doing is new, other than the fact that the threat between us having a nuclear war is a lot fucking closer. That's all it is. That's the only fucking difference. You know. So at this point, it's like either you people need to take your head out of your asses. And I don't mean to lecture you here. I'm not going to pretend like I've always been Mr. fucking knowledgeable here. Or that I haven't been complicit to some degree. You know, as far as the people that need to take their head out of their asses, I will throw myself into that bunch as well. But you either need to take your head out of your fucking asses and actually do something that will actually fucking stop this fucking shit show that we're currently a part of. Or you need to shut the fuck up. Plain and fucking simple. Plain and simple. You're letting this happen. Don't fool yourself into thinking that, oh, the reason that the country's going down the toilet is because people voted for Trump. You don't get to make that conclusion, because, you know, it isn't Trump that's brought us here. This Trump is not the fucking problem. He is the symptom of the fucking problem that has been brewing in this country since the fucking 80s. Yes, he's taken us even closer to collapse than he's taken us closer to collapse than we've probably ever been. But it isn't just because people voted for Trump. It's also because they decided that, you know, we're okay with the Democrats rigging their fucking primary. We're okay with you know, a guy who actually would have fucking done some good for this country being cheated out of the nomination because, God forbid, he cut off the fucking money supply that the corporatist fucking Democrats have been enjoying since fucking Bill Clinton. Well, actually, since fucking Ronald Reagan. You let that happen if you didn't vote for Bernie Sanders, or when you couldn't vote for Bernie Sanders, you voted for either Jill Stein or Gary fucking, what's his name? Not Gary Shandling. The fuck is that guy's name? The libertarian guy that's really just Republican light. I mean, that's all libertarians really are. You know, if you're not one of those people, Gary Johnson, that's his name. If you're not one of those people, and you were a Hillary supporter and you were okay with what fucking happened, and you've convinced yourself that, oh, those emails that fucking show that they were rigging the fucking primary against Bernie Sanders. If you're one of those fucking people, it's your fault. It's your fucking fault that we're here. I'm not going to say that the Trump supporters are not partly at fault. Yeah, some of them are, especially the ones that were originally going to vote for Bernie Sanders, and then when they couldn't have Bernie Sanders, they decided to vote for a fucking maniac. They're also fucking at fault here. But the thing is, the problem didn't just start in 2017. It started back in 1980. That's when the problem started. That's when, the trickle down in economics started. It's when fucking Democrats convinced you that busting up the unions and amping up the fucking the drug war and, taking fucking donations from huge corporations was all a good fucking idea. Just completely, dismissing the obvious problem that was going to fucking cause. If you've been voting for the lesser of two fucking evil and you've been trying to convince yourself that that's a good reason to vote for somebody, it's your fault that we're here. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're like, oh, this fucking guy, he's full of shit. He's he's a Bernie bro or whatever the fuck it is that you're telling yourself. Just keep in mind that is what you're telling yourself to avoid the fucking truth. Nothing I have said, whether on this podcast or previous podcasts, nothing that I have said cannot be looked up and verified. Everything I say, you can look up and find out for yourself to at least, if you are one of these people that's like, there's no way this could be fucking true. Just to satisfy your own fucking, self-absorbed desire to be fucking right. Go look it up. Go see if I'm fucking telling a fucking lie, or I'm bullshitting you, or if it's just some sort of fucking left-wing propaganda, or whatever it is that you've convinced yourself of. Go look it up. Go look it up. I don't know. I had planned on talking about other shit. I wasn't even going to talk about this. I was actually going to talk about. I was going to do another episode or another fucking segment of people acting like cunts on Twitter. Should I still do it? Fuck it. Why not? All right. I took a bunch of screenshots because. I don't know. I didn't want to be fucking messing around on my laptop while talking to you guys. So, although it's starting to seem like, it's taking the same amount of time. But, all right. So, there was this fucking, this guy on Twitter that had said, he was commenting about Elon Musk. Now, for those of you that don't know who Elon Musk is, he is the Tesla guy, or Tesla, the fucking guy that built the ugly fucking cars. He was responding to a tweet from fucking Donald Trump, where Donald Trump said, congratulations at Elon Musk and SpaceX on the successful Falcon Heavy launch. This achievement, along with NASA's commercial and international partners, continues to show American ingenuity at its best. All right, so this guy responding to Trump says, Elon Musk is an African-American immigrant from one of those, quote, shithole countries. You can't both celebrate his achievements and be angry he's here. All right, so obviously people felt fucking compelled to respond to this guy and, of course, be a fucking cunt. Well, some dude responded, and I think he was... I don't know. It didn't seem like he's being too cunty, and in fact, I will say that he's not. He just said that this tweet might have even worked if you said South African American, but as I type this, it loses its sheen. Still a great point underneath it all. So he was actually being, fairly fucking nice or polite or whatever, respectful. So you got people, of course. Here come the fucking cunts. This person says, this is the dumbest shit anyone has said in a long time. And I mean, half this site is people arguing about anime. Really? That's the dumbest shit? I mean, what's so dumb about it? I'll get to it. You'll see where it fucking leads. But, so somebody said, somebody laughed at it. And then he responded to that and was like, of course I'm blocked now, which I suppose is fair. And then the guy that laughed said, certainly sorts out whether it was irony anyway. And then some lady, some African-American lady says, I'm confused. Why is this a bad tweet? he is from South Africa, in Africa. But then somebody comes on and says, but he's not African American. Please explain this. He's not African. He's from Africa. He is in America. Doesn't that by definition make him an African American? I mean, I know what this person's implying. But the fact that people will make this fucking argument is beyond me. So some lady comes on and says, quote, African American was created in the late 20th century to give black people in America a term comparable to Italian American or Irish American. Its intent is to allow for pride in ethnicity, not to declare that white settlers and their descendants in Africa share that ethnicity. Then the guy beneath her says his national identity is South African, though, isn't it? So what would you call him? And then, of course, somebody says white. And then this guy, the same guy, says, well, that's not a nationality or specific ethnic label. And then she says, okay, here, European. And then somebody responds to that, says, except he's not from Europe, he's from Africa. Your move. And then some other lady comes on and says he is a descendant of Europeans who invaded Africa. And then somebody says, I know this. Then they say, then you should also know that the term African American is a socio-political term used to identify blacks in America who are descended from enslaved people from the African continent. Which is AKA you trying to fucking reason out your own ignorance. But whatever, whatever. And then she goes on, she says, it is the recognition that our histories were obliterated by slavery and we have no way to know definitely where exactly in Africa we come from. Elon Musk may be South African as a nationality and he may be American if he has become a citizen, but he is not African American. So have several seats. Again, I mean, I understand what they're saying, but if you look at just if you're just looking at the fucking definition of what makes somebody, blank American, whether it's Asian American, Italian American, whatever, it's, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out where I'm going with this. So then the original guy says, my point, the entire time being he was from Africa and now American, and so literally is an African American. Obviously not in the same context as African American is traditionally used. Man. And then, I don't know, she said some fucking, some cunty shit. I didn't bother with it because it was just going to go back and forth. But then somebody else in a completely different conversation says, congratulations, your tweet is worse than anything Trump will tweet today. That's not easy. Again, why is it so, why is it the worst fucking tweet? Why is it stupid? I mean, he is from Africa. Yes, he's not black. Yes, when you generally think of African American, you think of black people. But that doesn't erase the fact that he is from Africa and he is in America, or he's a citizen in America, which makes him African American. Regardless of how you want to fucking, I don't know what the fuck where I was going with that shit, but it was just, it's like, really, that's what you're fucking arguing over? Really, like, I don't get it, who cares? I mean, wouldn't that be a plus for African Americans to be able to claim fucking Elon Musk as one? I mean, he is one of the most brilliant fucking people alive on the planet. Wouldn't that be a win? Like, why are you so quick to dismiss him? And here's the weird thing, or the irony in all of that. Had Elon Musk been black and the guy had said, oh, he's European American, or some other fucking opposite, or whatever it is that fucking piss people off, I'm almost certain that the argument being made by African Americans and other fucking people in this I don't even want to call it a dialogue. It's basically just people fucking acting like shitheads to one another. I'm almost certain that the fucking, I don't know, dialogue, that's the only fucking word I can think of, would be a lot different. It would be like, how dare you fucking not consider him African American? I mean, he is black, you know. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid, and I'm willing to bet that most people making that argument against, oh, he can't be African American because he, because he doesn't have fucking melanin or some shit. It's fucking horse shit. He's from Africa. He's a citizen of America. He's African American. The fucking color of his skin doesn't fucking matter unless you're saying that skin color does matter, and then it fucking shoots a complete fucking hole through any argument that you make about equality, that it shouldn't matter. Right? Or am I just fucking turning something into nothing, really? I mean, you know, that's what we do here at the effing podcast. We make mountains out of fucking molehills. Oh God, do you want to fucking? There was this other tweet that I had to fucking I had to do a screenshot of it because it is the epitome of what. What's defined as virtue signaling, but it also has the added benefit of supporting my fucking hatred for these fucking dudes that pretend, or they're like the feminist guys, the ones, I mean, you know, I'm not talking about somebody that's like, oh, you know, women deserve equal rights. I mean, I'm one of those fucking guys. Of course I believe that. But I'm talking about that rare breed of man that will say and do fucking anything, including shitting on other men, to try and get fucking noticed or to get some fucking likes or whatever it is. Well, this fucking guy is like the epitome of a virtue signaling fucking feminist man bitch. He says, I don't even remember what he was responding to. I don't know. It was somebody fucking explaining some shit. Or it was a girl explaining. I can't remember. But what he said was, LOL. Even among liberals, a woman has to get repeated attempts at mansplaining. I fucking hate that word. And I swear to God, if a dude or even if a chick ever fucking says that shit to me, like in my face, I might punch them in the fucking nose. I might. Well, I probably wouldn't punch the woman, obviously, but I'm definitely gonna punch that fucking dude. It's enough to make you rip off. Okay. All right. This is where it gets fucking ridiculous. All right. I'll reread it. It says, LOL, even among liberals, a woman has to get repeated attempts at mansplaining. It's enough to make you, listen to this, rip off your own testicles and feed them to your goldfish. I tell you, it's embarrassing to be male. It's not enough to know I am not like them. He puts in quotes. I feel I owe it to womankind to walk around with a huge disclaimer sign and hand out calligraphy apology notes with miniature meditation gongs in embroidered baggies and sandalwood oil vials. Ugh. If somebody knows this guy, and I'm sure, you know, if you know him, I mean, personally, not like you just follow him on fucking Twitter, but if you know him and you follow him on Twitter, please go punch that guy in the face repeatedly. This is the example I've been screaming, since the whole Me Too fucking movement started. These are the guys that women never pay attention to. And of course, there were some dudes that were like, you're fucking, you're crazy or whatever. But of course, the ladies were like, oh, thank you, finally. These are the type of dudes that ladies never fucking pay attention to. At least the way that they should. They'll pay attention because, yes, he's saying shit that you like to fucking hear. But the thing you don't pay attention to is the fact that this guy doesn't mean any of that shit. He doesn't feel like ripping off his fucking testicles and feeding it to his goldfish. Because first of all, goldfish, I'm pretty sure, don't eat fucking testicles. But it's not that he cares that much about somebody mansplaining to some, to some woman he doesn't even know. He doesn't give a shit. What he's saying is, hey, pay attention to me. Put your fucking guard down, ladies. I'm fucking harmless. And these guys are probably the ones that act like this, that are like, oh, I'm so fucking offended for all womankind, and oh, I am not like that. I'm gonna put on my fucking black tuxedo and, carry a fucking, or wear a fucking vag hat or whatever the fuck it is. These are the guys that are more likely than not, the fucking predators that every single woman has fucking dealt with in her life. These are the guys. These are the ones that will tell you or say any fucking thing to get you to lower your fucking defenses. And in the second they think that your defenses are down, that's when they fucking capitalize on it. These are the same guys that if you happen to, if you have like a boyfriend or a husband, I've said this before on this podcast, but like if you have a boyfriend or husband that, maybe at the moment you guys are not really getting along too well, and you go and tell this guy like, oh, fucking every time I come home he won't rub my feet or whatever, or he expects fucking dinner or some shit or whatever the fuck it is, right? This is the same dudes will be like, oh, if you were my girl, I would never do that. I would basically walk around, or I'd actually allow you to fucking use me as your fucking personal slippers. I would just spend my entire fucking day rubbing your feet and feeding you fucking strawberries and telling you how awesome you are. Right? That's what these guys are, right? And it has nothing to do because they really are just that into you. It's because they know they have figured out that there are some women that will fall for this bullshit and let them fucking have sex with them. It's all about trying to get in your pants, ladies. That's all it ever fucking is. And if you ever catch a guy fucking talking about he'd rip his own fucking testicles off because somebody got mansplained to, that's the guy you need to keep your fucking eye on. That's the guy you got to make sure that you don't end up in the fucking hallway alone. And there happens to be a fucking ficus nearby. Those are the guys you need to look out for. But surprisingly, those are the guys that you never fucking, you never ever see coming, because you're so like, oh yeah, really, you'd rip. Oh, you must really care about the woman's movement. The fact that you'd basically castrate yourself to fucking prove that you're not one of them. I mean, how fucking ridiculous does that sound? I don't know. Anyway, I've been talking too long, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. It is Friday, so the weekend's here, so you should be able to relax a little bit. But anyway, I hope you've had a good week. I hope you have a fucking fun or relaxing or lazy fucking weekend, or I don't know, or maybe you gonna build some shit. I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. Either way, I hope you fucking enjoy it, and I will talk to you again next week sometime. All right. Just like always, don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.